Prince Dhruva snatched victory out of the clutches of despair. He achieved success after falling into the bottomless pit of despondency. He succeeded because he never lost hope. He came out victorious because he tried even beyond his age and competence. He asked Bhagwan to be allowed to ascend heights none else could reach. He showed how a determined effort can overcome all odds. The king Uttanpad had two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. He was inclined towards Suruchi, who had borne him a son named Uttama. Dhruva was born to Suniti, who was out of favor with the king. One fine morning, Uttanpad was playing with young Uttama sitting on his lap. The young Dhruva too wanted to share his father's lap, but the king did not welcome him. Rather, his mother scolded him. I am the Maharani of the kingdom. Your mother is more like a dasi, a maid servant. You were not reared in my womb. How dare you claim to sit on the king's lap? That is akin to sitting on the royal throne. Get going, young boy. Never attempt to compete with my son. Harsh words. Show that you are a worthy son. Pray to Param Purush Bhagavan and take birth from my womb. The father Uttanpad did not stir to help the young child against this verbal onslaught. If you beat a serpent with a stick, it breathes loudly, flares its nostrils and violently hits back. Dhruva, just 5 years old, lost his cool but did not know how to react. He approached his mother. She sighed deep as she addressed Dhruva. Be brave, my son. On your part, never think ill of others. An evil thought or deed comes back to haunt the person. Go and worship Bhagwan. You are on the right path. Guided by destiny, rich with the wealth of determination, Dhruva calmed himself and set out to find a guru to lead him like a kindly light. How do I worship Bhagwan? How to get blessed by the Almighty? I am just a child. Where shall I live? What shall I eat? Who will save me from dangerous animals? He had no ready answers, only questions, doubts. Somehow, Devarshi Narad came to know of the child's predicament. He arrived from the Swargalok. Patting Dhruva on his head, the Rishi observed, what a temper! After all, he is a Kshatriya child. His stepmother's vitriolic words have pierced his heart. Son, you are just a child. At this age, you cannot be honored or insulted. After all, what is an insult? It is our attachment to status and possessions that gives rise to dissatisfaction. As a young child, how would you placate Bhagavan? The route is arduous. Do not be obstinate. Try to reach God when you are older. Be happy when you see someone blessed with greater attainments. Be kind to another who is placed lower down. Make friends with an equal. Be contented with what your destiny has made available to you. However, Dhruva, which also means stable, atal, unmovable, could not be dissuaded from his determination. He bowed to the Devarshi and said, "Your advice is excellent for those who are easily upset by sorrow or happiness. An ignoramus like me cannot fathom these philosophical depths. I was born with a Kshatriya with a fiery temperament. I am defiant in humility. Suruchi has torn my peace of mind to pieces. I want to rise to a station which has not been attained by my father or even my grandfather. It has to be the highest position in the universe. Show me the path to this attainment. You are Brahma's son. You know everything." In life, those who seek him shall find him. Narad was pleased with Dhruva's steely determination. He raised his hand in blessing and said, "Your stepmother has not misguided you, even though her motive might have been to put you off by sending you on a wild goose chase. Go to the Madhuvan ashrama situated on the banks of Yamuna. Sri Hari eternally resides there. 3 times a day take a bath in the waters of the holy Kalindi. Thereafter sit on an asana in the lotus position. Shut your eyes. Focus on your breath. Stabilize your mind. It is difficult but possible. I do it every afternoon. This is bhakti. Now visualize Bhagavan. His eyes and mouth always carry a smile. There is no trace of anger. His nose, brows, and cheeks are pleasant to look at. He is an ocean of kindness. Think of Vishnu, my child. I have included many images of Vishnu as available on the internet in this video. His eyes shine like gems. His lips are red. On his chest he carries the sign of Shrivatsa. He is blue like the ocean. He wears a garland of fragrant eternal flowers around his neck. He carries a conch, a discus, a mace, and a lotus in his 4 hands. He is robed in yellow silks. A golden gem-studded belt is tied around his waist. Visualize this image of Bhagavan. It is a balm for sore eyes. It gives you peace of mind. How will this help? Asked Dhruva. Now listen carefully what Narad said. The secret is concentration, my child. You can visualize a Deodar forest, moonbeams, sunlight. You can think of pretty flowers or a field full of them. You can think of the Himalayan peaks. Think of the rolling ocean waves or the wandering clouds. The result is the same. Still your thoughts. Concentrate. Conquer your wandering mind, child. Conquer your wandering mind. Bhagavan provides an ideal and sincere focus. Are you not praying to him? Then why not think of him? His form is irrelevant. Mind, listen to these words. His form is irrelevant. Look for him in your conscience. He is always there. Krishna says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita as well. Young prince, I shall now give you a mantra that you repeat several times. It acts like a focused beam of light on a dark road. It pulls back the wandering mind. In low tones, utter Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I bow to the son of Vasudeva, Krishna. Repeat as many times as you can. In my practice, I repeat Om. In due course, said Narada, you will experience a radiant calm. Look into yourself. You will meet your Bhagavan. Dhruva had seen the light. Narad continued his pilgrimage of Madhuvan, where Sri Hari resides. Later he went to see Uttanpad in the royal palace. The king was looking gloomy. Can I be of any help, Maharaja? Asked Narad, tongue in cheek. You do not look well. The king expressed his regret over throwing the young Dhruva out at the instigation of Suruchi. He is a wise child. He must have withered like a plant without water. He is just 5 years old. Wolves might have eaten him. He merely wanted to sit in my lap out of affection. I have committed an unpardonable sin. Addressing Uttanpad, Narad assured him, Dhruva is under God's protection. His time has arrived. You do not worry about him. His illumination will guide the entire universe in the darkest of nights. He will bring name and fame to his father. Dhruva had a bath in the holy waters of the Yamuna. He fasted for the night. Following the Devarshi's directions, he busied himself in meditation. Day after day, week after week. For quite a few days, he stood with folded hands on one leg. His mind was lost in hurry. He was able to control all possible diversion through sheer fortitude and tapasya. Dhruva repeated the mantra given by Narad millions of times. It helped him to concentrate like nothing else. His visualization of Vishnu made him happy and blissful. How long could Bhagavan ignore his bhakt? Riding Garud, he descended in Madhuvan. He wanted to have a darshan of his devotee. There is a poem in Hindi, Bhakat ke bas mein hai Bhagavan. Even Bhagavan bows to his devotee and follows him. At this precise moment, Dhruva's mental image of Vishnu disappeared all of a sudden. He opened his eyes. His vision was in front of him. He prostrated on the ground. He looked at Bhagavan with tearful eyes. His joy knew no bounds. He looked and looked without blinking. He was drinking deep of Bhagavan's effulgence. He was still a child. He wanted to, but he did not know how to praise Bhagavan. He did not have words enough. He was tongue-tied. The omniscient Hari touched Dhruva's cheeks and with his conch. This touch awakened infinite wisdom in the boy. In humble tones, he praised, Prabhu, you are omnipotent and omnipresent. You have awakened my silent and ignorant voice. It is you who provides all sensory consciousness to human beings. Grant me the company of those Bhakta Mahatmas whose minds are entirely concentrated only in you. I want to sit by them, listen to tales of your qualities and deeds. It will bless me and release me from the bonds of rebirth. Bhagavan, you are the cause of this universe. You are indivisible. You had no beginning. You are without an end. You are bliss. You are faultless. I surrender to you, my Lord. I seek shelter. I know what you desire, said Bhagavan. It is an unattainable position, yes. However, I grant you the same. I elevate you to that radiant, indestructible height that none has ever scaled. The stars, the constellation, and the planets go round and round this point in space as bullocks go round and round over the ears of corn to separate the grain from chaff. The spot is stationary even during pralaya. Dharma, Agni, Kashyap, Shukra to go round that elevated spot. Even the Saptarishis will circumambulate you all the time. I name the site as Dhruva Lok. You shall be the master in eternity. Remember that you will be as near me as possible. You will sit at the crown of the Saptarishis. From there none returns to this earth. Soon thereafter, Dhruva returned to his family. The capital and its citizens warmly welcomed the prince. They called him Bhakta Dhruva. Huge welcome arches were erected on the main road. Bouquets of flowers were fixed on pillars made of banana trunks. Areca nut palms were placed at even distances. The entrance to every home had auspicious pitchers topped by coconuts placed symmetrically in front of them. Strings of mango flowers, leaves, pearls were tied on the door fronts. Gold leaf and articles had been used everywhere for enhancing the appearance and lending luster. Everybody participated in the welcome. The town squares, streets and roads were swept clean, sprinkled with sandal water. Auspicious articles like flaked rice, flowers, fruit and barley were piled in heaps everywhere. The charming women of the town, colorfully dressed, had gathered all along the route to look at the young prince who had been blessed by Vishnu himself. They blessed him as if he was their son. They showered him with white mustard grains, puffed rice, curds, holy water, turva grass, flowers and fruit. Thus doubly blessed by Vishnu and by the inhabitant of his father's capital, Dhruva entered his father's palace. Uttanpad considered himself blessed. He insisted that Dhruva, as he grew up, be crowned the king. Years later, when Uttanpad departed for an ashram on the outskirts of his capital to enter sannyasa ashram, Dhruva ascended the throne and ruled as a benevolent king. When his time came to depart, he ascended the heavens, and since then he has been there guiding the universe as the pole star. So says the Hindu mythology. Just for your knowledge and information, Dhruva, known as Polaris in Western astronomy, indicates the north celestial pole. It is a part of the constellation Ursa Minor. Dhruva is placed 1 degree from the pole, and that is its uniqueness. Visually, it is a moderately bright star. For ages, navigators have recognized that when they look at Polaris, they face almost due north. If you look at the star charts throughout the year, Dhruva will be found in the same point in space. On the other hand, Ursa Major or the Saptarishis is one of the most well-known constellations in the northern sky. Visually, it covers a large area and has many huge stars and several spiraling galaxies. This constellation, looking from the earth, goes around Dhruva in the course of a year. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna.